Hey guys, how you doing today? I know this is something different compared to what I normally do on my channel. I don't normally play around with too many colors, but I wanted to do something different. So I used the Boss Mood Artistry palette from Morphe, and I came up with this nice purple look. It's kind of bold, but it's also wearable, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. And I hope you like how I did my intro today, being that I did my intro with all my makeup done first. Alright, I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, so I know you guys are probably like, oh, what is that? But I zoomed you in so you can see how I do this. Now, when I finished, just the top shadow. I didn't do anything underneath. I didn't do eyeliner, nothing like that yet. But I'm going to show you how I did this on this eye. And this took me about, give or take, 5 minutes. So I was pretty excited that I could do something that looks more extravagant in a matter of, 5 minutes. And when I leave the house, I'll look like I spent hours on my makeup. So, this is all different purples I have here. And I did use concealer in my inner corner. I was debating on using the shimmers like I wanted to do, but I felt like once I got this on there, I really didn't want to do any shimmers. So I just set the concealer on there and left it as it is. So, I'm not sure how I'm going to do the very inner corner. I was thinking about maybe using some purple glitter or something in here, just to make it look a little bit more. I'm not definite yet, because I do want this to be somewhat wearable. So now I've said all that. I'm going to start off with a big fluffy brush, like this one right here. And I'm going to go into this shade right here in the Morphe Boss Mood Artistry palette. I know it's going to be backwards for you, sorry. But I'm going to start off with this color right here, just so I can use that as my very first transition to make everything very cohesive. So I'm just putting this all over up here. It's not like an exact area, it's just to be my very first transition, so everything is blended good. Now this here for me, being older and having the skin problems that I have, this makes everything a lot easier for me. So I have less blending time. Alright, first color is done. Then I'm going to take a more, this is still a blending brush, this is the Morphe M330, but it has like the pointed tip to it. Don't mind my nails, they're a mess, I fell asleep with wet polish. But I'm going to take this Morphe brush and I'm going to dip it into this shade right here. And it's more of like a burgundy, but with more of a purple undertone. And I'm going to get that only on the tip of the brush. You can see it here, because I'm going to put this directly into my socket, right into my crease. I'm going to put this right in here, all the way into the inner corner. I'm mostly focusing on the outer end, but I'm going to bring it all the way in. Now these shadows here are very easy to blend. I haven't really had much of a problem with them. Even the purples that I used were very nice. Literally 2 seconds. So I love this palette for that reason, because if I'm blending too long, because I have RA, my whole body will get sore. My back, my arms, my shoulders, all my joints will hurt, and I don't want to spend a lot of time complaining, but, so I look for more blendable eyeshadows, I'll say. And I always connect my corner here, because I feel like it helps with my blending later. And then it looks like very well blended on the bottom and the top. It's my little trick that I do. So I'll take the extra second just to do that. So now I'm done with that shade. I'm going to move on to an angled, it's a mini angled flat brush. You can see that's the width of it. That's the angle on it. And I'm going to dip into this purple shade right here. And this one here seems like it has a red undertone on camera, but it's really not. It's it's like a pure purple. Just a deeper, not bright, but muted tone. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring it on an inward angle, because for me, whenever I do my eyeshadow on this angle, it makes my eyes look more lifted, so it takes away from the sagging under my eye. So always go in a downward angle on the lid like that. And you can see how I have the brush. This is the angle I'm going at, and I'm just going in like that. And then I'll bring this into the crease, connect the corner. And I bring this all the way into my inner corner also, using just the tip of the brush. But I don't want to totally blend out the burgundy color I used. I just want it to have the purple be dominant everywhere. I'm just bringing this into the corner of the crease with the very tip of the brush. Alright, now I'm finished with that shade. Now I'm going to take the darkest purple in this palette, which is right here. It almost looks black on camera, but I'll swatch it for you so you can see. And you can probably see a little bit there. But this is a very deep purple. Oh, it's not even picking it up that good. But it's a very beautiful color. It's almost like a blue purple, but more on the purple side. It just has that undertone of blue. And one thing I noticed with these shadows is they haven't stained my eye, and I was kind of worried about that, but with Morphe shadows, they don't tend to stain. The Jaclyn Hill tiny palettes, the Bolt palettes, they did stain me, but, so anyway, I'm going to dip into that dark purple, like I said, and I'm just going to put on the very, very top part, like the flat top right here of the brush. And then I'm going to take this, I'm going to use my little mirror so I can be exact. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I want it to be as exact as I can. So I'm going to tap this right here in the outer V of my eye. I don't want to bring this in too far. This is just to add a little bit of definition to what I have already. Sorry. I live in a tourist town, so until it gets really cold out, I'm going to have a lot of traffic. I'm very sorry about that. I live on a main road. So anyway, I'm going to take this and just tap it in here, and I'm going to bring it in a little bit onto my lash line, only on the outer part though. I'm just connecting my crease to my lash line. Alright, so that's it for the deeper purple. Now I'm going to go back into the lighter purple that I used right here and make sure that there's nothing that's not blended in the outer V. Like I said, this is a very quick look. I mean, it didn't take me long at all. And I'm just going to take this right in front of, like closer, further up on my eyelid, on the inside here, after the dark color. Sorry, it was hard to explain. And I'm just darkening up the angle a little bit, right there, with the lighter purple. If you see any skipping on my eyelid, I swear it's not the shadows, it's the looser skin on my eye. It does tend to make the shadows skip, but I'm going over it with concealer anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. And I'm just going to make sure that this is dark enough. Alright, so that's basically it with the shadows until I blend it into the concealer. So I'm just going to use my NYX HD Studio Concealer because it's very, very thin concealer and it's light, so it's easy for me to use for cutting my crease. It's like my favorite concealer to use that for. Sorry. And I have one designated brush to concealer for my eyes for cutting the crease because of the angle and the shape of it. It's like perfect for my eyelid. It's tiny enough to get into the little tiny spots, but big enough to where it's not going to take me an hour to do. So I'm just going to take the brush, dip it into the concealer on the back of my hand, and I tap it after I put the concealer on it. I tap it off a little bit more to make sure it's not too much. If I make a mistake, I don't want it to be like crazy bright in an area where it's not supposed to be. So I'm going to use my little mirror to do this, and I'm just going to tap it into my inner corner first. And I bring it all the way into the inner corner, basically. And then I work my way out. I'm not worried about being perfectly even. I'll do that at the end. Like you can see, it's a little choppy. But, so I'm going to stay in frame for you. And once you get closer to the purple, I kind of just tap it out. Like, there's less concealer on the brush, so I tap it out into that just to fade it. And then I'll fade it back in with the purple. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm like confusing today for some reason. Just making sure it's even across my whole crease. I brought it all the way up to the crease. Sorry, guys. Make sure it's even. And once I get to the very outer part, to where, like the furthest I'm going with the concealer, I just tap out a little bit and then tap down, and that way it makes it lighter. And you can see it slowly fades out into the purple. And I always keep that inward angle, and I'll show you how I do that in a minute. I mean, I get excited about anything that makes my eyes not look old. Alright, so I'm going to take my Coty Airspun powder, I have some in the lid, and I'm just going to use a flat shader brush. And I'm tapping the brush into the powder. I tap off a little of the extra, not too much because I want it for my eye. And then I just tap over top of this concealer to set it down. I try not to drag. I mean, I will drag the brush across it every once in a while, but I try not to. So I'm not moving the concealer around before it's set. And because I use the powder, it'll help fade it into the crease better, and it looks crazy bright. Now you can see how this one isn't. It's because I'll take the brush afterwards, like a fluffy brush with no color on it or anything, and I'll just brush off some of the excess powder so it's not too crazy bright. And I'll fade that purple in, and it'll take down the crazy brightness, the stark white. Alright, so now I'm going to take that same angled brush I used for my crease area and my outer V of my eye, and I'm going to go back into a lighter purple right here. And I just put it on the side of the brush. I didn't put it like on the tip or anything. And I'm going to take this here from the very tip here where the crease is, across all the way down into this concealer. So it'll give me that angle again. And this helps to blend the concealer into it. So I'm just going to go up here. Do a little bit further. Bring this in here just to make sure I didn't take away any of the purple in my crease. And I'm using a tiny bit of pigment at a time because that's why I have to keep dipping in, because I don't want to destroy something I did. I'm just going to take this up here. Alright, so I'm back with my whole rest of my face done. I know I went a little overboard with my highlight. I'm sorry about that. I just decided to take a little bit of the ColourPop Flexitarian and just tap it on my nose, and apparently it was a mistake, but I mean, I like it. I just kind of look like the Tin Man. But anyway, I'm going to go back to finishing my eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the same palette, the Morphe Boss Mood Artistry palette, and I'm going to go into the deepest shade that I used, this deep dark purple here, and I'm going to put that on my outer corner right here on the lower lash line with just a flat brush. I had a little mishap with my eye watering. I didn't think about it when I was using the powder to set my inner corner, and I used the Coty Airspun, which is highly scented, and it caused a huge problem with my eyes watering. So if you see a little bit of mess ups in here, that's why. So I'm just going to take the dark color and just press it against my lower lash line as close as I can get it, with my eyes tearing the way that they are. I gave myself a little extra time to stop the tearing, but what's done is done. It's already irritated. So you see how I just put it on the very outer part there. And I know it looks a little bit funny right now, but I will connect it with another color. I'm just going to do, sorry, I'm using my little mirror. I'm going to do the same thing over here. And this is my favorite part because I feel like it hides my age a little bit. because then I have a chance to cover up the little crow's feet I have close underneath my eyes, the little creasing and wrinkling. There we go. So I have that there. Make sure it's even. That's good. So now I'm going to take another brush I have. It's a tiny domed brush, but it's on an angle. Right here. It was from the BoxyCharm box also. And I'm going to dip it into this purple shade right here. And I'm just going to dip the tip of that in. And I bring it in a little bit right here. My eyes watering still. Sorry guys, I don't know if you can see it right there, but it's like creasing my concealer and everything. I'll fix it. I'm bringing the purple color in there, right there. And we'll bring it over top of the dark purple to connect the corner. And then I'm actually going to use the flatter part of it. You can see it there. And I'm going to dip that into the burgundy shade that I used. And then I'm just going to blend everything all together underneath. Like that. I hope you can see it well. The burgundy shade just adds that, it makes it look more blended. I don't know why. I don't know what the proper terms are for it, but it just makes it all look cohesive. So there's that there. And then with this look, I would use a black liner, or you can use a purple liner, or even a nude liner would look nice. I always particularly like my Wet n Wild eyeliner. As you can tell, it's a little inky dinky eyeliner, so I'm just going to put that in my waterline. Sorry, I'm kind of blocking you for this. I know a lot of people don't like to see this part. I'm going to put that on my top waterline also. Oh, my eyes are watering like crazy. I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm missing like a whole chunk of concealer right there. I'm going to have to fix it. And once that's done, I'm just going to go and use my favorite mascaras. I use two separate ones because I use this Wonder Unlashed mascara to separate my lashes because it does a really good job at that. You hear my puppy. He just sighed. I've never had such a destructive puppy. He eats everything. Sorry, I don't know if my mirror is in the way. Try to keep it a little bit lower. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody saw people put on mascara before, but this mascara just does the lifting and the separating for me. Wow, my eyes are watering. And then my favorite mascara is the Soap and Glory Thick and Fast mascara here. Not we're blind just with it. But this is the one that, you know, darkens my lashes for me and makes them look better. I'm just going to look into my little mirror over here so I'm not blinding you with my mirror. And this Soap and Glory mascara is actually really cheap and it's really good. It's one of my favorite mascaras. It doesn't like, some mascaras I could like pull chunks off and it like hurts my lashes. This one doesn't do that. So mascara's on now. You can see it does a good amount for my eyes. It really does, my lashes. So for my inner corner highlight, I am going to use the ColourPop Flexitarian. And I'm going to use that on the little tiny domed brush. It's a smudger brush. And I'm going to put it right here. And it just brightens it up really good for me. And hopefully it'll hide my little smudgy area from my eye watering. I'm just going to bring that in just a tiny bit right there, in the beginning of my eye. Just because my eye's watering. And I'm also going to use this for my brow bone highlight. And don't mind my eyebrows today if they look kind of bad. I fought with them for a little while and then I gave up because I wanted to get the rest of this video done. They like really, it's like a very bad eyebrow day for me. They really did not want to work with me. So, I don't know if you can see it. There we go. Now you can. Okay. So, this is my completed look. This is my one of my favorite go-to purple looks. I haven't done a purple look on this channel, so I wanted to make sure I did do a purple look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I hope you like the look I came up with. Something different for my channel. So that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.